Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the stream! It is Thursday, and we are in a medieval kitchen today. No. Got my my linen shirt on, ready for some... I'm having so many ideas, it's just wrong, my brain is going... Today, we are doing some medieval cooking. What we in the SCA would call period cooking. So basically, all that really means is you're probably going to hear me in these videos, in these streams, talking about period. Okay, so as I do more of these older recipes, like medieval recipes and that, I'm going to go, this is a period recipe, blah, blah, blah. All that really means is pre-1600. So, yeah, that's some SCA terminology, or we just simply say that's the reenactment group I'm a part of, and we simply say period is pre-1600. So, today, we're doing a period recipe. Really simple one. For those of you who keep up with the stream, we had a slight malfunction with our freezer last week, and we went through it, yeah, it was not pretty. However, in the deep dark depths that we had not seen in some time, we found something. I can't remember what it was. What was it? I think it was like a tortellini or something. We found a tortellini from 2017. Oops. So, you know, look, potentially a blessing in disguise. Just from the sheer fact that we can now see everything that's in the freezer. It's not overcrowded. We can actually get into it. Now, part of that was we had some broad beans in there, and they unfortunately had defrosted and had to go. But then I was looking through a cookbook lent to me by Upright, and I just flicked open to a page, and there it was, fried beans, take a heap of broad beans. So we wasted some broad beans, sure, but then the universe said, do something with broad beans. So I did. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is fried beans. This one, again, medieval cooking, some of it is showing off, so I don't know how the tastes are going to go. And you'll see about that. There are variations in this recipe though. It will be the base variation that we're doing today is going to be vegan vegetarian. Then it goes up. There will be a keto option, and then there will be the actual regular recipe, and then at the fry up time we'll talk about what then makes it not vegetarian or vegan. Hint, it's the lard. But we'll get into that. So we're starting off with, the only place I could get these was frozen, so I've just quickly defrosted them. But we're starting off with 500 grams of broad beans. Now, I will be popping off to the side of screen every now and then. This is not a complicated recipe, but if I do have to look at it, I'm going to be over there on the table because that's where the Lent book is. I don't want that anywhere near this catastrophe area.
Ooh, hairball.
Okay, I heard that. Did you hear that, Kiki? Hey, Don Kiki, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Throw this on the heat. You heard that? Excellent. Yes, we're cooking medieval. We're doing period cooking today. So I'm in me linen shirt. I've had this crazy idea of making a period outfit that would be correct for the kitchen. Crazy idea. I may do a video on it. We'll see. It's just fabulously gorgeous, darling. Yes, you can see it has the red around the neck from the leaking gorget. Because I tell you, if you don't understand linen, you need to get yourself some linen, because it wicks away all the sweat and all the ness and just evaporates it off, and it is so cooling. Unlike like modern fabrics that don't breathe. Now, linen isn't cheap, okay? I'm not going to pretend it is, but oh my god, so worth it. You laugh so hard you spat dribbled on your keyboard. Aww, isn't that nice? Okay, so we want that to heat up. Right, no. We want to get this up to simmer. So we're just going to simmer it. Coffee grate. Ta-da. One by coffee grate. Whew. So this is, like I said, this is a really simple recipe. There's not a lot to it. It does concern me a little bit that it's, you know, that we're simmering these things so hard. That said, I grew up with the you know, 60s to 80s version of English cooking, which was boil the crap out of everything and then serve it up. Ensuring especially that you leave everything of nutritional value in the pot. So, nah, my mum had some nice recipes. I'm sure she did. It's always, when a recipe from medieval England starts with boil the vegetable, it always gives me that little bit of hesitation. But who knows? We'll see what happens. We will put just a pinch of salt. Now the recipe doesn't call for the pinch of salt in the water, but I just do it. Whenever I'm putting water to the just simmering stuff in water, I like putting a bit of salt in it. Makes me feel better. As far as I have done a couple of tests where I haven't done that, and it really doesn't seem to change that much. It really doesn't. But it doesn't change the taste. Doesn't, you know, that I can perceive change the time that it takes to do the thing. But yeah. It makes me feel better, so I do it. Thank you, Kiki. Ta-da! Yes, it's all going to be, well, soon. As summer rolls around, it's going to be going. So too may be the beard. It'll be the first time I've seen my own chin in like 12 years, maybe. Right? You see? It's funny, other people are saying, yeah, lose the beard, keep the hair. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, yes, oh yeah. Gotta be my authentic self. Alright, what do we got? Come on! Which spoon do I want to use? I want to use that one. Do I want to use that one? I don't know. I don't want to use that one. Could use that one, because I'm going to use that in the fryer. Alright, we're going to use this one. Who's scruffy looking? When did I go? I went to Nepal at some point. That was the last time I was clean shaven, was when I was in Nepal. So that would have been probably about 2010, 2011 maybe. Yeah, right. 2010, 2011. I reckon was when I went to Nepal. And yeah. that was the last time I shaved the face. It's gonna be nice. No one's gonna recognize me. It's gonna be hilarious. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen my own chin. I see it in photos. I got photos all over the place that I get, you know, I'm clean shaven and all that. Alright, that's starting to get there. Ow! Hey, Zig, what you doing? Alright. Turns out we didn't need anywhere near that much water. Alright. Now the recipe specifically says to simmer them until they split. Now because these have been frozen, they're kind of a little bit split, so we'll see. Hello Mayor West, how you doing? So we'll see how that works. We have a Ziggy too. She down there. That's a Ziggy. Hey, beautiful little Ziggy. Right, so while we're doing that, let's do the next ingredient. So we have purchased a couple of new things for the kitchen. We have the next of the series of chopping boards. We have the white one. The white one is for bakery / dairy. There are, hang on, how many colours are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. There are 9 colours, and I have 4. I have nearly half of the colours. And now Mae West is barking at the mailman. I heard that Mae West was a bit barking. Barking mad. So this recipe obviously can be scaled and would have to be scaled because 500 grams of broad beans is not going to fill a feasting hall. Akira's sunbathing, nice. So we look at medieval recipes and they're usually not day-to-day recipes because these are the recipes of the celebrity chefs, basically. Because, you know, take a why would anyone get a book that had recipes that, you know, every peasant and their dog knows how to cook? A lot of the ingredients weren't affordable, right? For example, two of the ingredients, there's four ingredients. Right, there are 4 ingredients in this dish. 2 of them would have been unaffordable to the average person in the 16th century. What does that tell you? I mean, it's the same for pioneers in outback Australia. Most knew how to make damper, right? So we get the recipes of the celebrity chefs, which again is can be really confusing in the way they wrote their recipes. You look at some of the original recipes, and it's like, take a goodly amount of beef, okay? Goodly amount? What's a goodly amount? Well, a goodly amount is goodly. Oh, okay. I'll take a goodly amount. And so redactions for these things, woof. Redactions can be a problem. Interesting. There's a bit of rust on my knife. A goodly amount is like Uncle Roger. Don't measure, just sprinkle. Emotional damage. Oh, that one went astray. Come on, back you come. There you go. Nope. Hello, Beanie. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Alright. So we have beans, onion. Sid's cooking tonight. Alright, so what's he cooking tonight? Okay, so there's kind of 6 ingredients, which is weird. Chicken tenderloins with a side salad. Nice. You can see they're all starting to float. Trying to rotate the type of meats you eat. Yep, that's fair. It's odd. I've never been a fan of vegan/vegetarian food. It was always most of what there was when I was younger. That sort of food was just unsatisfying, tasteless. It was almost like your suffering made it worthy. Really felt like that some days. You know, if you didn't suffer for your vegetarian food, were you really eating vegetarian? But as the genre, I guess, of food is of vegetarian is getting more prevalent, we're starting to see better and better recipes for it, which is nice. So trying to find decent vegetarian recipes is always fun. Trying to find decent vegetarian recipes without chili kind of says something. So this one is going to be interesting because I have not tried this. As is often the case when I stream, is I haven't actually tried what we're about to put on. Just add MSG. So trying to find good tasting vegetarian food is something I do try to do on occasion. Ooh. That's okay. Sorry, I'm just a little concentrating on the ingredient. Just add MSG. Ooh. Yeah. Alright. More and more of them are starting to float. That's a good thing. I'm going to say that's a good thing. I'm not quite getting the mezzaluna out for this one. I should kind of want it, but I'm not mezzalunaing this. Because we're not using that much garlic, really. Although, that said, we do really want this reasonably, I'm going to say, we want this reasonably finely chopped because this amount of garlic has to go throughout the whole thing. That said, with some of the other ingredients we're going to put in, it's going to be interesting to see how they react to each other. And yes, I know I'm being a little secretive about it. Just a little. Alright, so that is the main ingredients. It's just broad beans, onion, garlic. We're going to put some oil in the pan in a minute. Oh, look at that. We've got that simmer is just, well, just started to boil a little bit. So now we bring it down to a simmer. And that is interesting. These are starting to actually puff up quite a bit. I don't know if you're actually going to be able to see that. But broad beans are usually reasonably flat. These are actually starting to swell. And I can only imagine that that is from taking on it, they're sucking up the water that they're in. They're bulked up, right? Roy did up the beans. So they must get to a point where they start to split. Okay, so we're going to leave them in there, and we're going to wait until they start to split. So some of them were kind of already split. from the freezing process. It was surprisingly hard to find these. It really was. It was surprisingly hard to find broad beans. Ah, more pancakes tonight, eh, Kiki? Right. Yeah, playing around with recipes is fun. I've actually been thinking of doing a stream where we just mess with ingredients. We just sit around tasting ingredients and commenting on them and all that jazz. Right? We'll see how we go. Interesting. Food fight? Why would we throw perfectly good food? Why? Why would you do that? Because hilarious stream ending. Maybe rotten food fight? For the views, eh? Sure. I don't know. I don't think doing stuff for just sensationalism is my path. Right. So there is a very earthy smell in the kitchen at the moment coming off of these beans. Ooh. So these haven't started exploding yet, but damn, they taste. So like you bite into them and the skin just sort of like, the skin's got a bit of texture to it, but the inside, it's like a really well cooked chip. Crunchy on the outside, soft as on the inside. So we're going to, hot things are hot. I'm going to drain these and start the next step of the process. Oh wait, we're not using the canola today, we're using the olive oil today. Because flavour. So at this point, this is where you can take it to the part where it's not vegan or vegetarian anymore. The options are use olive oil or I think it says olive oil or lard. Yep, olive oil. So you can also use lard for this point. We're not today. We're using the olive oil to keep it so far keep it vegan/vegetarian. The lard is obviously going to imbue a different flavor into the meal because it's lard. We also have some duck fat in the fridge, and if this part of the recipe, if this recipe goes well, I'm so trying it again with duck fat, because anyway, so that imbuing that flavor into it is entirely up to you. However, what we're doing at the moment is we're doing the more vegetarian option, and we're just using olive oil. Gonna heat that up. Now, all we do is we fry that up. Fry them beans up. Now we simply fry these up until they're nice and golden. I'm using the smaller of the pans, the smaller of the two pans I've got. I could probably put a whole kilo in this one, because that's just covering the base of that at half a kilo. Could probably put more in, but I wouldn't want to do much stirring. In the bigger pans, we could probably fit quite a bit more. So it depends how much you would be intending on serving. Would depend on what size pan you use for this, and we'll see how long it takes. It shouldn't, in theory, take too long just to get the outside of this golden brown. So I think now we put everything else in with them. And yeah, I reckon I could double that in this pan and we'd be fine. Oh, look at those chunks of garlic in there. Alright, we're getting a little bit of stick on the bottom, which we can compensate with a bit more oil, but I don't think we'll need to as the onions cook up. You can see there, maybe. No, you probably can't. There is a little bit of sticking on the bottom. We do have this fairly well cranked at the moment, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit, because we are pumping a lot of heat into this at the moment. Another spam. I don't know why, but now for some reason, I don't know what Twitch has done, but they've made it that these suspicious user ones, I can't see them in my chat bot anymore, which was a one click. I just clicked one button and I could delete it. I can't do it anymore. Then I have to figure out what was going on with that. Right, now that those onions are starting to sweat, we've got a nice layer on the bottom. We've got stuff it's being less sticky as we fry up. Then we get to the secret ingredient parts. So we're going to need 2 bowls for this. Alright, let's have a go at this. Ooh. So, simple, tasty, the breakfast stealer is there with you. Whoops. But you can she's watching and sitting next to you. Aha. This is reasonably simple for my palate. I would probably start with some more garlic. I would probably double up the garlic. That said, if this was all I was going to do to it, right? Alright, that we're starting to get some nice browning on the broad beans. Actually, let's see if I can get that one out for us. There we go. Wait, come here. No, not you. Yes, you. Alright, so you can see with that one, it's got that really dark green on the inside and the lighter green on the outside. The outer green shell really has that chew to it, whereas the inside, as soon as you bite down, just squeezes out into this soft beany mess, which is, you know, from a textural standpoint, is really nice. It is similar to that when you get that really good chip and you crunch into it and it explodes in your mouth. Alright, that is starting to get nicely browned. So I think we're going to call that mostly cooked. The onions are nicely wilted. Still got a little bit of crunch to them, so that's fine. Have a good day, got to head off and do community work. Aha! Well, we're almost done here, but good luck to you. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for hanging out. Okay, so bit number 1. Going to throw that in that one. Throw that in that one. Alright. Still going, that's fine. We can deal with that in a minute. So, the next fun secret ingredient that only the rich people are going to be able to afford, cinnamon! So I'm just going to double check the recipe real quick. So, Pour into a dish and sprinkle with a little thing and a little cinnamon. So, we're going to sprinkle with a little cinnamon. If we can get some out, there we go. Do a light sprinkling of cinnamon, which you can imagine, not freaking cheap. Not cheap in its own right. Then, the next one, and this is where we lose keto unless we do something different, which is why we have 2 bowls. Next one is sprinkle some sugar. So that's how we lose the keto part. But if we happen to have recently done a keto stream, a keto recipe, we can sprinkle some keto sugar on it. Ta-da! So there we go. What are you doing, Buff? And that is the dish. Done. Now, obviously, normally you would sprinkle all of this on the dish itself, but because we're using separate ingredients, I've done a little differently. So, woof. Obviously, the heat of the dish is just sending the cinnamon aromatic up into the air. So I am like with the bowl here, I'm literally breathing in that cinnamon. I can taste it on the Jacob's organ. That's interesting. There it is. Okay. That's really interesting because the broad beans are actually overpowering that cinnamon, the amount of cinnamon I'm putting. You can still really smell it. Like there's still this really heady aroma of cinnamon coming out of it, but there's not a lot on the palate. Probably a little bit more. Just a little bit more cinnamon. So I'll put a pinch and a pinch. In a dish, in the full dish, I would probably take it up to maybe a teaspoon. Yeah, I'll probably put a teaspoon in, maybe a little more. I'll probably start with a teaspoon. I'm just trying to get that balance where I can taste all of the flavors. But the beans are very overpowering. Like they really, you don't have to be subtle with this dish because the broad beans aren't. There we go. Yep. Oh, that's changed it. So, still getting that real breath of cinnamon. Now, as I'm chewing into it, there is that little bit of cinnamon there. But at the end of the mouthful, as you're breathing in, you're really getting that cinnamon, you're getting that extra cinnamon on the palate at the end of the bite as well. So you're getting it in the nostril on the way in. The beans and everything else are powerful enough flavor that they're doing their own thing. And then at the end, as you breathe in, you get that next bit of cinnamon as well. Oddly, not getting a lot from the sugar. I could probably add some more, but I do have a very sweet tooth. But You can see, serving a dish with cinnamon and sugar. This is showing off how rich you are. Alright. Whoops. So, we're going to add, straight off the bat, we're going to add some more cinnamon to this one. Because we did that last time. And we're going to add, because the erythritol sugar is only about 70% of sugar, we're going to add a bit more of that as well. So this bowl, this still has sugar in it, but it's keto. So we'll see if that sugar particularly changes. Alright, so I'm stirring this in a bit more. I can see that there is a goodly, like, you can just see the flecks of cinnamon on everything in that. I don't know if you see it in that camera. Come on, focus. Focus. I don't know if you can see it there, but I can see that there's just a little bit of fleck of cinnamon on everything. So however much that is, that I think would be, that looks good. Ooh, there you go. Interestingly, the keto sugar is coming through more. I know we put more on, but the flavor of it is coming through more in this. Ow. Now, this you could expand out on, all with period bits and bobs. Yeah, I don't think the sugar is doing a lot for it, to be honest. I think maybe the sugar would be brought around with the cinnamon. No, you wouldn't need the cinnamon. The cinnamon is an aromatic. Maybe the sugar would be brought around with a little teaspoon and like, I don't know. Or maybe just so much sugar is put in that this turns into a sweet, into a dessert. There are a few things. I can see this as a really good base, like a really good start point. But oh, excuse me. Nose full of cinnamon. I can see this as a really good start point for today cuisine. Right? Bit more garlic. Caramelize the onions. If you're gonna go there, throw some bacon in, cook it in pork lard. Throw some bacon in. You could definitely turn this into more today food. But thing is, with this, with this recipe as it is, this massively shows off the wealth that whoever is putting this on as a feast had to be able to afford to give cinnamon and sugar in one dish. That's why we're eating this. It's not overly about, well, back then, wasn't overly about what we would consider gourmet food today. Some of it was, right? Like 48 hours slow spit roasted venison is that's just something they did, right? But again, that would be hyper gourmet these days. Cinnamon though, I should look that up. We might do that real quick. How much was cinnamon in adjusted dollars in the 16th century? Let's go have a look. Nope. Cinnamon was ranked in value with gold, ivory, and frankincense. Woo! So, how expensive were spices? At the beginning, this is according to WordPress.com, so we'll see. A pound of cinnamon or ginger cost 3 to 5 days' wages for a craftsman. Wow. What was a day's wages? What was a pound? What's a pound in kilos? I think it's 2.2. So that's not too bad. Oh no, whoops. 450 grams. 1 pound is 450 grams. So that's 80 grams. But if we're talking what level of skilled craftsman are we talking about? Whoops, that was the wrong button. No, it wasn't. Damn. Yeah, saffron. Trying to actually look. What I'm actually looking for at the moment is what the comparative cost. So we've got 4 to 5 days wages for a craftsman. We don't really know what that is. Cinnamon cost. Whoops. $24.51 denarii per pound. Okay. Reserve Bank of Australia inflation calculator. I don't think that's going to help, considering Australia was all belonged to our indigenous people at the time we're talking about. So somehow I don't think that's going to work. All right, so I can't see that. I'm going to have to figure that out at some point in the future. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So there we go. That is our, hang on, sorry, just messing with the sound, messing with the volumes. That is our medieval bean fry. So not too bad. There is certainly things that I would do to update it into a today meal. You never know. We might even have a random go at that next week. But for this one, simple, easy, but it's really there to show off the cinnamon. That's why it's there. Show off the cinnamon, show off the sugar. There we go. I think it would be a very different tasting meal in the underlying of it if we cooked it in lard. I'm a big fan of, if you haven't figured that out yet, of eating meat. But I wanted to keep this one vegetarian as a vegetarian option to see where we could go with it. Yeah, so even today you could add salt and pepper to it, put that in, bring out more of those undertones of those spices. So yeah, there it is. There is a base medieval meal. Would I serve that at a feast? I don't know. Would I modernize it and serve it in a feast? Maybe. I think, you know what? Let's do it. Just before we go, let's throw a couple of spoons in, and we'll add just a quick grind, little bit of salt and pepper before we start. This is before we're putting anything in. I'm just throwing some salt and pepper in to see what it does to the flavor. And already that is so much. That's already so much closer to the sort of cuisine we're used to, because we are used to adding salt and pepper into our food. The beans in the middle of it all, the beans still take over all of the flavor. So that doesn't change, but the initial bite in and the end state, I should actually put some cinnamon on this now, but the bite in and the end state, it really does become more of the palate that we're used to. So would I then fry that up and just grind in a bit of salt and pepper? I think that turns out, I would still put the cinnamon in, I would still do all of that. Might need a bit more cinnamon at that point, because you've got that salt and pepper in there. But if you did just enough to bring out that flavor and bring it more into the palate range that we're used to, but you were able to keep that cinnamon before and after, I think you'd be on a winner. I think you'd be fine at that point. That you wouldn't need for someone like me, you wouldn't need that extra flavor of the meat to make it, to round it out. I think a bit of salt and pepper for our current palates rounds it out quite nicely without having to put meat in it. So there you go. Ta-da! Ideas. We're just sitting around. There, you can put a bit of salt and pepper in, cooking that. I think it'd still work with the cinnamon at the end of it. It just means you may have to put a little more in as you serve. But other than that, that's not a bad start. Uh-oh, hang on. Oh, that's fine. I thought ads were playing. I'm like, oh my god, why? Alright, so we're going to turn that down. We're going to, there we go. Ta-da! So, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, that was a stream. Short one today. There you go. These will get longer, you watch. As we get into more of the medieval cooking. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Simple dish. Shows off how rich and wealthy I am. But I think easily adjustable into today's palate. So coming up, we have, what do we have? Tomorrow we're playing Valheim with Wardham. We are still looking, we're heading through Morgan territory to try and find the place where the mid-range boss is. We've killed the big boss, now we've just got to go find and kill the mid-range boss. We're doing that tomorrow. On Friday, then on Tuesday next week, we'll be teaming up with Wardham and Jimtor to continue Baldur's Gate 3, the Heal Edition. We are making some decisions. I honestly don't think we've had the same outcome in Mushroom Land. We got a couple of the same outcomes, but everywhere else we've been, totally different outcomes. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to end well. So we're doing that on Tuesday. Come and have a watch. That's like, oh my god. Then on Wednesday, some more Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed 3. We did have a little discussion last night. You can check it out on the start of AC3's VOD from last night. I had a bit of a talk about what's going on with Assassin's Creed Shadows and my 2 cents on the whole thing. You can go watch that if you want. But next Wednesday, we'll just be getting straight into AC3 and playing some more of that. And then Thursday, we're around and we're back in the kitchen again. Yay! So who knows? We might do I don't know. I might do a more modernized version of this. Get the broad beans back out and go nuts. Maybe, some duck fat and some bacon and anyway. We'll see. So remember, this recipe today was we did it in the vegetarian style, vegetarian vegan. Yeah, I think it counts as vegan. There was also a keto option because of the showing off of richness. Yeah, so lots of this one. This one's going to go in lots of categories. Medieval, mains, vegetarian, vegan, keto. I'm going to have to start a new channel for all this. Anyway. Thank you everyone who joined us. Thank you for watching along. Thank you for just being you. Hopefully we will see everyone tomorrow for some more Valheim. If we don't, we'll see when you see it. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Don't forget to check the description for any links I may have left there. If you like the video, please press like or subscribe to my channel. Next video in the series is up here. Until then, stay safe, have fun.